Faith can move mountains. Radio Maria, 91.3 FM.
The voice of truth.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Radio Maria 91.3, the voice of truth. It's your lady Eucharia Okafor. That particular lady, the grandfather was born on a 4th day and he was named Okafor. Yet, its moment of reality is every Thursday. You always have me here in the studio, giving out my story and having interactive section. So, before I start up with my program, it's always in my habit to care. So, how are you doing today? How has the day been, my listeners? How are you coping with this recirculation of the old Naira note? You go to the bank, they're giving you the old Naira note and you can't spend it. And I was wondering why some persons are rejecting the money. CBN has approved that because if they had not approved it, the bank would not be dispensing the old Naira note. So if you're being paid with the old money, try and collect it. That's what the bank has been ordered to do. And from what I discovered, they will be dispensing that old Naira note from now to December. So you're free to use it. So like we were saying previously, before I had to talk about the Naira note. So how are you doing today? How's the work been? How's for those that are in school? For those who are in the business area? So how are you doing today? Hope you're good. And if there were reasons for you to feel bad, it's natural to get disappointed. It's normal to feel bad, but it's totally wrong to fail, to believe that you can be better off, to believe that tomorrow might still be the way it is. If you are positive minded, remember that change is constant, so anything can actually happen. So I want you to put a smile in your face, come close to your radio, for I have a lot for you. So before I read out my write-up, I wrote a story. This is basically a story, and I titled it, Stop Putting That Pressure on Yourself. I told you, come closer to your radio because the story is something you definitely enjoy. Yet it's something you enjoy. So if you know you are putting pressure, I know there's reason for you to get worried. I know there's reason for you to be pressurized. But the story will tell you why you don't have to keep that pressure on yourself. So before I read out my story, I would love us to go for a short break. Welcome back. For those who were not around when we did our previous introduction, we said this is Radio Maria 91.3, the voice of truth. That the radio that keeps you informed and never deformed, and you have Eucharia in the studio. Before we went for a short break, I said I wrote, this is basically a story about a woman, and I titled it, Stop Putting That Pressure on Yourself. So come closer to your radio, increase the volume of your radio, for you will definitely enjoy the story. My mom did not sleep. She felt exhausted. She was grumpy and bitter. She was always sick until she suddenly changed. One day, my dad said to her, I have been looking for a job for 3 months and I haven't found anything. I am going to have a few beer with my friends. My mom replied, It's okay. You can go ahead. My brother said to my mom, Mom, I am doing poorly in all my subjects at the university. My mom replied, Okay, you will recover, and if you don't, well, you repeat the semester, but you pay the tuition. My sister said to her, Mom, I smashed the car. My mom replied, Okay, settle in the living room couch and look for some blankets in the closets and relax there. Everyone became worried seeing this reaction coming from Mom. We suspected that she had gone to the doctor and that she was prescribed some pills called I Don't Give a Damn. Perhaps she was overdosing on this. When they proposed to do an intervention with my mom to remove her from any possible addiction she had towards some anti-tantrum medication, but then she gathered us around and my mom explained. It took me years to discover that my anguish, anxiety, my depression, my discourage, my insomnia, and my stress does not solve your problems, but aggravate mine. I am not responsible for the actions of anyone, and it's not my job to provide happiness, but I am responsible for reactions I express to that. Therefore, I came to the conclusion that my duty to myself is to remain calm and let each one of you solve what corresponds to you. I have taken courses in yoga, meditation, human development, mental hygiene, and neurolinguistic programming in all of them. I found a common denominator in them all, and that is, I can only control myself. You have all the necessary resources to solve your own problems, despite how hard they may be. My job is to pray for you, love you, and encourage you, but it's up to you to solve them and find your happiness. I can only give you my advice if you ask me, and it depends on you to follow it or not. There are consequences, good or bad, to your decisions, and you have to live with them. So from now on, I cease to be the receptacle of your responsibilities, the sack of your guilt, the laundress of your remorse, the advocate of your faults, the wall of your lamentation, the dispository of your duties. Who should solve your problem or a spare tire every time for fulfilling your responsibilities? From now on, I declare all independent and self-sufficient adults. Everyone at my mom's house was speechless from that day on. The family began to function better because everyone in the house knew exactly what they needed to do. This is the end of my story. This is a story of a mom who has carried the responsibility of every member of the family on her shoulders. And she has developed sickness and she is trying to get better. As the day goes by, she's getting worse. So gradually she discovered a secret. And that secret is trying to ease herself from those responsibilities which other members of the family can actually handle. So, before we go for a short break, now my question is, between a man and a woman, who is more pressurized in the family? Between a man and a woman, who takes more burden? Between a man and a woman in the family, who would you say that this is the person that has everybody's problem at heart? Who's the person that whatever it is, she is always there or he is always there? So between a man and a woman, who is more pressurized? So let's go for a short break. Remember, the number you will call is 081 084 47518. I repeat myself, 081 084 47518. So let's go for a short break. When we come back, the question is, between a man and a woman, who is more pressurized in the family? Welcome back. For those who are not around, when we started our story, we said this is Radio Maria 91.3, the voice of truth on moments of realities. Before we went for a short break, we read a story I titled Stop Putting that Pressure on Yourself. And I said, between a man and a woman, who is more under pressure in a family? Who is more pressurized in the family? Who takes the burden of the family member more on her or on his shoulders? Who do you think? You can also start with your own experience, maybe in your own family, or probably in school environment or in your work environment, between a man and a woman. Who do you think that is more pressurized in the family? So the number to call is 081 084 475 18. 081 084 475 18. So from the story I read, you found out that for some of us, sometimes this is hard because we have grown up being the caregiver, feeling the responsibility of other persons. We just want to help every other person in the family. You find that there's this one person who wants to be the shoulder for everyone to cry on. You get, and sometimes as a mom, as a wife, or probably as a husband, we are fixers of all things. We never want our loved ones to go through some difficulty. There are some persons you just don't want. Maybe you don't want your child to pass through this stress, so you want to do everything for the person, or you don't want your wife to pass through this stress, you don't want your husband to pass through this stress. You are always there carrying every other person's burdens on you. Sometimes we don't want our loved ones to struggle. You want them to always be happy. You want them to get whatever they seek for, whatever they ask for at the beck and call. They are having it there. Are you that kind of person? Yes. But the truth is that the sooner we take that responsibility off our shoulders on each of our loved ones, the better for us. And sometimes when we learn to allow them face some challenges, we are preparing them for some responsibility ahead. Remember, there is a saying: if you want somebody to be responsible, you give that person responsibility. But when you virtually want to shoulder up every member of the family's responsibility, you can be bringing yourself down. And funny enough, you might not also be doing them well when you have to take up everybody's responsibility. You are there handling whatever everybody needs to do in the family. You are not actually doing the best for them. And we are not here on earth to be everything to everyone. Are you here to be? Is it possible that you have to be everything to everyone? You have to be there. You have to do everything so that everybody around you become very comfortable. You have to bear the pains of everybody so that they don't have to feel pains. When you do all those things, you think you're helping them. When you do all those things, you think you're making them become better. When you do all those things, you think you're actually, that happiness you're giving them. Are you giving them a temporary source of happiness, or you're giving them the permanent one? Are you actually helping them in a way that when you are not around, they can be able to handle things and even become better than you? Or probably when you keep doing all those things and when they face some challenges and they find it that I'm not used to this, I cannot take it any longer, and next thing they think of is suicide, because they're not used to difficult things, because they at every point in time they have the shoulder they could just lie on, they have this hand that could just pat their back and tell them it's fine, you're okay. They always want to hear it, and when they don't hear it, it's as if the world is coming to an end, as if there is no light at the end of the tunnel, as if everywhere is dark and probably there won't be very bright morning the following day. So you find out that trying to be everything for everyone in the family is not always the best. So stop putting that pressure on yourself. Look at the story of that woman. She find out that she has done all manner of things. She has been have to take up these courses to help her. She find out she's not getting better, until she discovered that, I found out that I'm responsible for the actions. She is responsible because she has not given herself the time to say to herself, I need to take it easy on myself. So between a man and a woman in the family, who is under pressure, who is being pressurized, who do you think? Is it a man or a woman? Would you think? The number to call is 081 084 47518. I repeat, 081 084 47518. Between a man and a woman, who is more pressurized in the family? So, if we're to go back to that woman's story, remember what the initial part of it, the children were wondering, what has this woman actually taken, or what is she reacting? What is mommy reacting to? We need to talk to her. Maybe probably she took a drug. Between a man and a woman, who is more pressurized in the family, or would you think that is always it's always under pressure? Is it a man? Is it the woman? Is it the father, or is it the mother? Is it the husband in the family? Is it the wife? Would you think it's under pressure? Hello, good afternoon. What's your name, or where are you calling from? Okay, Pastor, welcome to the program. So what's your opinion?
My opinion is that women are more under pressure than men in the family.
Okay, so why do you say so?
So the reason why I say so is women are the ones that take care of our children.
Okay.
Man can just wake up in the morning and move out and coming back to the night. Sometimes everything about the mother. How the they take care of it from the children. And so it's from the mother. And sometimes mothers are even the ones that take responsibilities of the family.
Okay.
You understand me? So on this opinion, I suggest that women have more pressure than men.
Wow. Okay, but what if it's those men that actually go out to make money, don't you think they might be under pressure too, trying to meet up with the family needs?
Yes, they are also under pressure, but no pressure of that level.
Okay.
There are levels of pressure.
Okay.
Let's say it's like now when the mother gives birth to a child,
Yeah.
the man gives the woman with their wage.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
The woman with their wage. The woman can be away for up throughout the night because of the disturbance of the child.
The baby.
Or the child goes up. So that's the thing.
Okay, thank you very much, Pastor, for calling in. That was a very wonderful suggestion. Have a lovely day. Thank you, sir. So, our last caller said it's a woman that it's more pressurized in the family. A woman is always under pressure. Do you agree with that? Or you disagree? So, if you disagree, or probably you have another reason, do well to call and let's hear from you. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling in. So, the last caller said is the men. They are the one that think of how to get food for the family. But to me, I don't still. Will I say? Do I actually agree? I don't know. Please do well to call, because what if the man actually goes out, gets the money? The woman actually have to think, okay, well, how do I use this money? The woman will have to think, will my husband love what I'm preparing or what I want to prepare for the family? Okay, my husband is going to travel. How do we fix this? Yes, the man brings the money to the table. Now, this woman has to think of how to make use of this money. Think of how to make sure that this money is channeled in the right places. Is it not? So, and this same woman have some women, they still have, maybe they might be nursing mothers, still have babies they're taking care of, they still go for work. Just the way the man goes out to make money, the woman actually goes for work too. She still have a baby to take to school, bring them back, prepare the food. Well, I don't know. So I think the men are taking the lead. The three persons are going for the men. Three persons just called it. Well, I think, okay, is it two or three? They went for the men. So one person said is the woman. So more callers, let's hear from you. What do you think? But let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue. Do well to call. Let's know between a man and a woman who is more pressurized in the family. Let's go for a short break. We'll come back. Don't go away. So welcome back. This is Radio Maria 91.3, the voice of truth. So you have Eucharia in the studio. Before I went for a short break, we said between a man and a woman who is more pressurized in the family. Who is under pressure? Is it the man? Is it the woman? And before I went for the short break, I think the men are actually leading. They're saying it's the men that is under pressure. It's the men. So can I get more call? Let's know who's going to take the lead. Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's your name? Or where are you calling from? So what's your name and where are you calling from? Your name is Favor. I'm Sulija. Favor, you're welcome to the program. So where do you stand?
I think the woman is more under pressure than the man.
So why do you say so? Because you're a woman. Hello, Favor. Favor, are you there? Oh, Favor, we lost the call. Please, I love your voice. Do well to call back. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. So Favor is saying that it's the woman. And I asked her why. Is it because she's a lady? She said no. So she was actually trying to give us her reason and we lost her call. Please, Favor, do well to call back. So between a man and a woman who is under pressure. If we end this program, that means the men are taking the lead. That means it's the men that is under pressure in the family. So I want us to be fair. So let's get more callers so that at the end of the day, we'll now know, okay, it's the men that are under pressure more than the women. So I'm not going to support anybody, even though I am actually tempted to say that it's the women. But I don't want to say that because some persons will say because I'm a lady, so I'm trying to support the women. But let me not go further. So you call and let's hear. I think the callers should take the lead. Remember the number to call is 081-084-475-18. We have a few minutes to wrap up with the program, so I want to know the winner for today. Is it the men? Is it the women? So let's hear from you. Who is more pressurized in the family? Okay, that's a very wonderful one, Faith. You just taught us something now. You said because women are more emotional, and sometimes when you are not emotional, you are likely not to be pressurized because sometimes emotion breeds that pressure. Okay, thank you very much, Faith. That was a very wonderful one. So our last caller said something. It said women are more pressurized, and she said the reason it's because women are more emotional, and sometimes emotion breeds that pressure. That men, in their own way, they could be pressurized, but the way they respond to issue differs, and it's true. Sometimes there are some whom you might get there, you find out that okay, maybe there's some financial problem and the children are not able to go to school. You find out that the woman in the family, she's worried, she's so cold because probably the children gets to meet her. And you find out she's always thinking. Now, to the man, he's worried, fine, but because those children do not, express their pain to the man, he might not really feel. He might not be so much under pressure like that of a woman because these children tends to communicate more with their mother than their father. But that's different because I have a friend that she is very much closer to her dad than her mom. So you find out that if such a girl, if she's in problem, you find out that her daddy will be more pressurized than her mother. So I think it also depends on relationship. Okay, so Favor, I'm expecting you to call back because you needed to say something. I think it's now in a balanced scale, both the men, both the women. Okay, more callers. Okay, I need one person to call, and so that it will now fall on a balanced scale because 3 persons said is the men, 2 persons called and they said is women. You're right. Okay, that's a very lovely one. Okay. The last caller said that he would give it to the boat because growing up, he observed it was the mom, but now, presently, he sees himself. And that's past another message to me. Sometimes you find out that they will say when you want to know somebody, you get home. So the last caller, I might be wrong, but I want to feel because of the way you witness how your mom had to put everybody through, how she make sure that things are better. I feel you want to reciprocate the same. And in the course of doing that, when you find out that you're not meeting up to that, you become emotional. So I actually learned something from the last caller. It depends on individual. My father was like that. Sometimes when we're ill, my father gets more worried than even my mom. So it's possible, it depends on the individual. So please, we'll be wrapping up with today's program. Remember, it's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Next week, Thursday, I have another special topic for you. So get your radios close to you every Thursday on Radio Maria 91.3, the voice of truth. Remember, it's that radio that keeps you informed and never deformed. So thank you for having a time with me. I'm very, very grateful. Do have a lovely day.